Well, that's not working. I decided just to come on today. I was sitting there. I've done some work around the house. The studio's open. Oh, it just feels like yes. And I thought, you know what? I was going to play my game. And I said, no, I don't want to do that. And I might drive. No, I don't want. So you know what? Let's just talk some hockey. Let's just come on, talk some hockey. Let's see what you guys want to say. Last night, a lot happened, right? A lot happened. And with that being said, you know, I've heard some different opinions. You know, I heard one opinion, you can't call that in a tight game. I completely disagree with that. That's exactly when you need to call it. And I also feel that the I really feel like, and I'm not sure why I guess I'm having some video issues, so I apologize about that with the opening. But I really feel like this is what we expect, and should we, right? Should we expect that, or should we expect good, clean? Get the call right. And that's kind of where I'm at today. I know that okay, impromptu show, so people show. I'm not going to bitch about people watching or not. I put, shared it out a little bit here, there, whatever. Kind of lost my tongue. The Final Four, the Frozen Four is going on in St. Louis right now. I know Wendy's there. He sent me a picture earlier. I know he's there. So let me, there we go. Oops, wrong one. And you know what? If you're out there and you want to come on and you're somebody that's been on in the past, let me know. I'm not going to just put any Joe Schmo on. I'm not going through that again. Come on, Ottager, take down Hullabuck today. I really feel like, the Blues got hosed, right? That was not even, I don't know, man. I just feel like, here we go. This is the sign Wendy took with him to the Frozen Four. I think it's cool, man. I love Wendy. Good friend. If you're here, say hi. Hi. I'm Guy, and we're going to be just talking hockey. We'll go as long as I can go. Oh, sorry, eating some ice there. Man, I worked last night and kind of had a real bad ride at the end of the night. And when I got home, I struggled sleeping for a little bit, and then no, he's not actually. I know he doesn't like me saying where he's from, so I really don't want to put it out there. But he's just a big Blackhawks fan and a Cubs fan. He's a big Chicago fan, and we'll give him that. But he lives in enemy territory. I will just say that much. He does live in enemy territory. What do you think of the jerseys behind me? I used to do that. I haven't done it for a while. Now that the stadios, yeah, I'm fine. I'm good. I just, you know what? Why not talk some hockey tonight? Right? Aaron Nels, David AC, thank you. Nah, you know what? Let's spend a little time, talk some hockey. Last night, the NHL's got a problem in my eyes. Now, in my group, I posted a picture of the blind ref, right? I posted a picture of our blind ref. And in that, I got some, there was one person, at least one person, and I don't call people out, who felt like that wasn't the issue. Well, here's the issue with that whole play. First of all, Walker is on a breakaway. Walker's absolutely on a breakaway. And you can see, I get he's trying to stop the puck, but the stick comes in and takes his feet out from under him, right? He gets his feet, oh, I know, you know what? And it's perception. The perception is Bennington is not getting supplementary discipline for that. Perry might. Perry kicked him in the head. We all forget that, the majority, they don't see that, but they just see Bennington going after him, right? And I didn't have a problem with that last night. I really didn't. Now, let's say that had been McDavid or Drysdale or Ryan Nugent-Hopkins or Robert Thomas or Bushnevich or Kyrou that had gotten taken down, that's a penalty shot. Any time of the day. Now, when they don't call that, what happens is Walker's still down. It's now a 5-on-4. Right? That's got to get called. That's got to get called, every day. Every day that's got to get called, and it doesn't. It creates a 5-on-4 that ends up in the back of the Blues net. This is why I've advocated for a very, very long time to anybody who listen that they need a fifth referee, not in Toronto, in the building, either watching down on the ice or watching the TV replay, which is available in the little punching action going on in the Washington Carolina game. In the arena, either watching on the TV. So David, here's what happens. It's late. The game is tied. Walker kind of gets a breakaway. Now Walker's not the most. I mean, and I love the guy. I said, and if you've watched the show in the last couple of days, you've heard me say that I think he's the MVP of the squad for what he brings to the ice. He gets taken down right in front of the net. It's a good play, except the stick ends up under his feet and trips him up. Well, I mean, this is a huge play. The ref's right in the corner. The ref doesn't call it. The puck gets passed, and it goes the other way. That's on both sides of the aisle, my friend. That play, from any perspective other than on the ice, is a penalty. Plain and simple. It leads to a 5-on-4 the other way, which ends up in the back of the Blues net with less than a minute to go. The goal was good, but the goal should have never happened. Either the Blues are on a 2-minute power play, or Walker's taking a penalty shot. Now, Walker taking a penalty shot more than likely isn't going in. But when it comes down to it, it was a trip on a breakaway that's got to get called. It eliminated a scoring chance, right? It absolutely eliminated the scoring chance. It was a follow-through on the puck, but it doesn't matter. The follow-through still counts, right? And that might be the only thing that they could have said, oh, it was on a follow-through. I get it, but not for me. And agreed, right? That the goalie holds the puck and there's the end of play face-off. There's so much that's going on here beyond what's happening. Yeah, I agree, Aaron. I absolutely agree. Even though he's going to be used the computerized strike zone and 2,000 umpires will still make calls, can be challenged. I like that depending on what the challenge is, right? To me, if the, okay, so you got your strike zone, right? If the ball is like, here's your strike zone and the ball's like here, I'm sorry, that's not a challengeable call. The ball's here. Now you're talking challengeable, right? That's one of the problems with tennis. And tennis has got this really great thing that, shows where the ball lands in. But some of these, I mean, it's like right there on that, right there. And to me, you're taking up too much time for even the computer might get it wrong. The Rangers have figured out how to play hockey now that they're knocked out. I got you, Aaron. I got you. I think that I didn't post. Dumb, give me, there we go. Now I might, no, I thought I hit it. I didn't. Trying to get a few more people here. There we go. Maybe we'll get some more people here in a second. Right? I just comment based on you saying they need additional. No. And that's, no. David, it's exactly right. The comment's great. Okay? The comment's great. It's exactly what we need. And it need, but again, I don't want to open a can of worms on this, right? I know the NHL, if they did something like this, it could open a big can of worms. I think you don't open the can of worms and you sit there and say, if you can't determine it right away, then, the guy up there, the only thing he's doing, if there's a call like that, he can stop the game, right? He can stop the game, or right after the goal, he buzzes down, says, no goal, this is why. And maybe they don't call the penalty, but they go back to a face-off. But the goal is taken off because the penalty was missed, right? If you want to do it that way, that's fine too. But I don't like when the goal gets scored off of an obvious issue. And you know what? Let's go back here and take this back to 2019. We had something similar happen in 2019. Well, let me rephrase that. Something similar happened in 2019 in Game 5 of the Stanley Cup Finals. You remember that? Who knows what I'm talking about? Right? Jason Nichols. Akari is tripped by Bozak. Refs don't call it. Play continues. Puck goes in the net. Now, let's say in this situation, where are we at here? Bozak played the puck. Bozak was playing the puck, and Akari fell over the stick. Right? At that point, I'm more adept to say, we can look at that for a trip, but in the overall scheme of that, that's not what this rule is for. This rule is for that breakaway where it doesn't get called. And on a breakaway sometimes, in the heat of the moment, it's Jason, I just came on. I just did it impromptu, decided I was sitting here. I want to do something. I don't feel like driving right now. I don't want to really hop in the shower. I don't want to play my game. I don't want to watch TV. I mean, what am I going to do? We've done some modifications to my studio. It's more open. And I said, you know what? Why don't I just talk hockey for a little bit? So this is all that's all this is, right? Me just coming on and talking a little hockey to with friends and seeing what's going on. So you didn't miss anything per se, right? You really didn't. Like I said, just me coming on. Let's go ahead and cover the out of town scoreboard. Well, everything's out of town today. Let's cover the current NHL scoreboard. What's going on? The Boston Bruins are leading the Chicago Blackhawks in Boston 1-0 at the 16:42 mark. That goal got a goal by Pasternak. On a goal by Pasternak. Red Wings and Panthers are tied at 1 with 13:38 to go in the second. Sabres are up 2-1 on the Blue Jackets with 14:10 to go. Hurricanes are blanking the Caps with 12:46. The Caps honored Ovi today. Rangers finally figured out how to play hockey after they've been eliminated. Are up 4-0 on the Islanders in a battle in New York. The Battle of the Island. The Jets and Dallas are tied at nothing. About a minute now, 2 minutes into the first. A little bit later, the Canucks play the Avalanche. The Canucks are eliminated. Utah and Nashville play. Both eliminated. The Kraken and the Knights play, both eliminated. And then the Kings take on the Ducks in a battle at LA. Okay, point-wise, haven't seen anything. The Blues need 3 points. Now, that doesn't mean the Blues have to win 3 points. They need a combination of 3 points where either they get the points or Calgary doesn't. Right? Give me just a second and I will go over something here for you because I love you guys. You're my guys. You're my guys and gals. I had a fun show yesterday, man. I really did. Okay. Tomorrow, the Calgary, this is their final 4 games. They have Minnesota, San Jose, Vegas, and then the Kings. Right? They have 3 teams in playoff fights. And now, when you look at Vegas and the Kings, they'll be fighting for the top spot, I think, still. Right? If I look at if I go at the standings right now, Vegas has 103 points. They haven't locked in the division yet. Kings 97 with the game in hand. It's not locked in yet. Right? The Kings could be playing for something. Could be. And even then, the Kings could be right now. The Kings could end up anywhere from 3rd to 1st in that division. So the Kings will have something to play for. Right? Minnesota is in the first wild card spot. They have the game in hand. Right? That's getting taken care of tomorrow. Calgary, one of Calgary's games in hand gets taken care of tomorrow. That's one of them where you wish neither team could win. But if a team's going to win, that's the one I would be okay with Calgary winning that one. Right? I would be okay with Calgary winning that one, even though Minnesota has the tiebreaker over us. Right? I'd be okay with that. Be very okay with that. But then Calgary, we go back here and now everything I had up disappears. Oh my goodness. So we play Seattle on Saturday at 9 p.m. Central Time. It's a late game again. I don't know if I'm doing Saturdays. I might. Depends. I got something here that I may have to deal with. I'll figure it out in the next day or so. Sunday, the Sharks are in Calgary. Don't count the Sharks out. Right? I think it is, David. The Blues have 2 games left. Calgary has 4. I think it is more likely that the Blues win one and Calgary loses one, which would Calgary's going to lose one of these 4 games. They're not going to go 4-0. If Calgary loses one and the Blues win one of the last 2 against Utah or Seattle, we're in. Do I have a second favorite NHL team? Yes, but it's like a distant second. And that would be Vegas. Though I was not like really happy when Vegas won the cup. I was not. I felt like they didn't win. They didn't deserve that cup. But that's just my opinion, right? The possibility of the Blues making the playoffs is higher than the possibility of not making the playoffs. I struggle to see the Blues lose both games. I really do. I know others are out, all doom and gloom out there, but I struggle that. Hey, if you're watching, say hi. I don't want Calgary to win them all. All they need to do is beat Vegas or LA. Seattle is 3-0 with the 10+, and we can't sit on them. And Utah is a pain in our butt. They need to do is beat Vegas. Well, okay, Chris, here's the thing. They have 4 games. They'd have, if the Blues win one of the last 2, Calgary has to win out. Calgary, it's 3 points, but it's a combination of points the Blues get and Calgary doesn't. So even if they go to overtime and lose in overtime, that's a point they don't get. Right? So I see and LA and Vegas are fighting for that top spot, and LA could slip to number 3. I don't think they want to slip to 3. We have the tiebreaker. Right? In order for us to tie, we have the tiebreaker. And with that being said, and that's okay. That's why we only need 3 points, because we have the tiebreaker locked. They cannot beat us in the tiebreaker. From what I've seen, I could be wrong. From what I've seen, we have the tiebreaker locked. Right? Right now, and it wouldn't be 96, it would be 97. 97 points is the most we can get. Yeah. So it would be 97, 97. Or if it was 95, 95, again, it would be really hard to go. For them to go 95, 95, they would have to. Well, no, we'd win one, lose one. We'd be ahead no matter what. So. That's very true. That's very true. I think a team brings in close to $10 million per game. Per game. It might be more or less than that. It might be more than that, but that's just in ticket sales. Right? No, it doesn't ruin the sport. I don't think the money ruins the sport as much as some people think. Right? I don't. I think the money is important to the sport. And if the money is managed correctly. 96 would mean at 96 we're in. At 3 points, that's three points from where the Blues are now. If we get 96, we're in. That's the lock number. Right? That's the lock number. Right? So really, it's the issue is I think if we're 95, that might be an issue. I'm not sure. But really, when it comes down to it, no, even if for them to get 95, we would be in, right? and everyone's looking at, oh, we need 3 points. We got to win them both. No, we don't. It's magic number. Remember when the magic number goes down with the Cardinals? We're all Cardinals. We all follow the Cardinals forever, and we all remember the magic number, right? Remember that magic number is a combination of wins and losses. Wins the Cardinals get, losses the team behind them gets. Well, the 3 points is the same thing. It is a combination of points the Blues gain and points Calgary doesn't. Right? So that's something to really, really remember. Does that make sense? At least get to overtime. Yeah, absolutely. Well, 2029 has never happened. 2019. How many years in the playoff? 3, I think. Now here's the Blues. No, you're wrong. We were in the playoffs in 2020. In 2021, we were in the playoffs in 22. It's 23, 24, and 24, 22, 23, and 23, 24 that we missed the playoff. The Blues have 55 seasons, right? 55 seasons. Oh man, I had this up yesterday. How many times in the Blues history have they missed the playoffs? How many times in the history of the Blues have they missed the playoffs? Right? They have been an organization. I think they've played. This is the 57th season, either 56th or 57th season. I'm not sure if this is counting this season or not. If it is, say 56 seasons, not counting this season. How many times have we missed the playoffs? Right? I think we are. I don't think they're winning out either. And again, it's a combination of 3 points. They did. They went to the first 3 years. They went to the Cup the first 3 years of existence. Played Montreal twice and Boston once. And even a better, what's the most years in a row the Blues have missed the playoffs? What's the longest playoff drought that the Blues have ever had? I know Shocky's got to know this one. I think he does. It's an interesting question. All right. It's one of the biggest mistakes I think the Lowrys made when they sold the team. In fact, to me, it's the hugest mistake they made because they looked at it as a financial decision and not a hockey decision. By letting that streak end, they destroyed the value of the club, not made it better. Right? Trying to oh, nice goal. It is 4-0 Rangers. Guess in 9 years. Is that to how many times they missed the playoffs or how many times in a row? Right? I'll just say this. For how many times they missed the playoff, that number is actually really close. Really close. 24 years, no. In a row, no. Not even in a row, that's not even close. If that's how many times they've missed it in a row, you're not even close. Right? Hey Wayne, I think you're thinking how many times they went, and you got it the backwards. And actually, I think it was 25. I think they were in the playoffs 25 straight years. I can check on that. I mean, I got to count it, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Knew it was 25. Knew it was 25. Right? So, in the history of the Blues, not counting this season because we're not there yet. We'll find out here shortly. The St. Louis Blues have missed the playoffs a total of 11 times. 11 times. Right? $11 times. So 11, divide that by, I think, 55, because I'm not counting this season. That is, they have missed the playoffs 20%. Only if you're giving them out, only they have missed the playoffs 20% of the time. 80% of their history, they've been in the playoffs. The most that they've ever missed the playoffs in a row. The longest playoff drought that they've ever had is 3 years. And that's recent. Right? That happened, actually not recent. That happened 05, 06, 06, 05, the 05, 06 season to the 07, 08 season. Then they made the playoffs, got bounced in the first round, missed it twice, and then started a good streak, missed it, and then won the championship. We're in the playoffs the next 3 years, and then it missed the last two. This has been a good team. No, it's not. You know, I'm sure that you're not going to find too many teams, except maybe, I mean, the only team that I know of right now that you can look at and go, the longest they've ever missed the playoffs is 3 years in a row. I think the only team that I can think of that can say that is the Knights, and they only have one, but they got a really, really short time span here, right? And maybe Seattle, I take Seattle out because Seattle hadn't been in the league long enough. But dart in the box. So in all actuality, I know the original six, they've all had longer droughts. They've all had longer droughts. And then you go, my question might be, like, I know if you add the Nordiques in, the Avalanche would have a longer drought. If you don't, if you just go when they played, let me look at this real quick. Let's see how this is set up. Let me look at something here. So the Avalanche, if you just look at them from 95 to 2005, even then, their longest playoff drought is 3 years, and they've had it twice, right? Problem with that is you also have to add in, right? They've missed the playoffs 8 of 30 years, right? Not counting this year. 8 of 29 years. I think that's right. 95, 05, 15, 20. Yeah, so 29 years. 8 of 29. I'm thinking that's a lot more. 8. I'm terrible with percentages. If I don't have a calculator, I can't do it. 29. That's that's a 27% rate. They've missed the playoffs 7% of the time. But with them, you have to go back and look at Quebec, right? The Quebec Nordiques, who were in the league from 97 to 95. And when they became Colorado, so Quebec had 1, 2, 3, 4, a 5-year streak where they missed the playoffs. To me, that's attached to the Avalanche. Maybe you don't, but this year will be 14 straight years without an appearance in the playoffs. Yeah, right. The Blues have been even when they've struggled, they've been a good team, right? No, they've missed more than that. They're on like a 4 or 5 year streak. They haven't been in the playoffs for a while. Well, they might have gotten in. So the problem there is that COVID year tourney, and that. Let me look. I know I know that they've had more than a 2-year bud. I know that for a fact. Okay, let me come up here. Red Wings. They've been a team since 1932. Oh yeah, bud. Red Wings right here from 71 to 76, 77s. They missed the playoffs 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years in a row. Then there's a 5-year one, right? Now they had this season, which I think they've missed the playoffs. I think they are out 1, 2, or they're not yet. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They're on an 8-year drought. They're on an 8-year drought right now. So, hold on a second, bud. Hold on. So here you go. Here's the. Oops. Oh, I can't move me over. Do it that way. I think you can still hear me when I do it this way. But here you go. I mean, you look right there, bud. That's Detroit. Right? They've got that's a 7 there, and I think they're on a 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They're on an 8-year streak now. Right? They have not been in the playoffs in a while. They've won the championship back to back, but they've got some huge streaks. I mean, that's more than 20% missing the playoffs, I think. And one thing you got to remember, from 32-33 until 66, 67, right? There were, or no, 67, 68, pardon me, 67, 68. There were only 6 teams in the league, right? And 4 of the 6 made the playoffs. So some of this is hard to count. But when you look at that's more than a 20% miss, right? That's on my phone. All right. Yeah, there we go. That's on my phone, not on my laptop. Come on, guys. Where's your comments? Say hi. Big thank you to Russ Tidland, Nikki P, Jason Nichols, Aaron Nails, and David AC. Oh, is Keith Hart around? Yay, Keith. I don't know what I did with my phone. You know what, guys? I'll be right back. I'm going to grab my phone real quick. Stand by. I'll be right back. I'll be right back, guys. Stand by. I'll be right back. I want to grab my phone. I'll be right back. Stand by. Stand by. Stand by. Stand by. Okay, I'm back. Thank you. I wanted to grab my phone. And let's just do this real quick, right? Let's go back here, Detroit. They have missed the playoffs. A total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. They have missed the playoffs 29 out of 90 seasons. 29 out of 90 seasons, right? They came in the league in 1932. So 29 divided by 90, because we can't count this year yet. 32% of the time they have missed the playoffs, right? And the Blues were at 20. Third jersey on the right. If you don't know who that one is, I'm talking about this guy right here, right? Here are some streaks for fertility of not making the playoffs in consecutive years. Florida, 11 years. Edmonton, 10 years. Carolina, 9 years. Devils, 9 years. Yeah. The longest streak the Blues have ever had, current, up to this moment, is 3 years. And they've had it twice, I think. Maybe once. Let me go back. Let me look. Let's double check. Once. They've had it once. They could have it a second time if we blow this season. But, I mean, here. There you go, right? The Blues, I'm showing you guys right now, right? That's it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. That's it. Right here. The lean years, 2005, 2006, 7, 2007, 8, when we were the worst team in the league. We had a 30, that's our worst season ever, 34% points percentage. We were 21, 46, and 0 with 21, 46, and 7. I think that's right. 7 and 8, something like that. That might be one of the years they did it weird, right? But yeah, that just, I mean, there you go. There you go. That's showing you there. Those teams are 2-5 behind the Sabres, who lead the way with 14 straight years. Yeah. Panthers were the shit back in the day. They sucked. They've only had one. They've had 2 good seasons, I think. 1 or 2 good. They've had a few really good seasons, but they're sometimes once is enough. May I'm not sure what Wayne's talking about, but you go and you look at the Blues and the Blues history. That's a pretty damn good history, right? It's for me. And Wayne, I want to ask you this. You're a Blackhawks fan. I don't know if you watched the game last night. Did you see that play at the end of the game? If you watched it, right? Did you see that play at the end of the game, bud? Got to give him a moment to answer. Never watched. Okay. I don't know if I could find. I could probably go look and find that play, but I know Edmonton's not going to show it, so it might be hard for me to find it. I have. I've seen them in two other stadiums for sure. Right? Three stadiums. I've seen the Blues play in three different places, three places other than in St. Louis. I've seen them play in Chicago. I've seen them play in Vegas, and I've seen them play in San Jose. And I've been to Pittsburgh's arena when the Blues weren't playing, and I know I've been to one other arena, but I can't remember what it is. I don't know why. Normally I'm like really good. There's one I'm missing. I really do want to start like tripping and going to, like, I want to do a Western Canadian swing really, really bad. I want to see the games in Calgary and Edmonton and Vancouver and Seattle and Winnipeg and that. Yeah, Chris, I talked about that a little bit. You have to make that call. You have to make that call. Philadelphia, Chicago, Detroit, and Tampa. Yeah, you probably would have gotten, of those, there's only two places that I see where the fans would have been assholes. And one of them's a maybe. Right? I've seen the Blues play in Chicago 4 times, and all 4 of them I saw fights. That was and I saw them during rivalries. So a little different for me there. Oh, I know what the other game I saw was that wasn't with the Blues. I saw the last game that the Blackhawks ever played in the stadium. That's why I was having a hard time remembering it. I saw that playoff game when I had just come back from Japan. I ended up, quote unquote, winning the right to buy tickets. On the ice or in the stands? On the ice or in the stand? Both, actually. Actually, both. Actually, both. Trying to think here. Let's go back. Let me go over the scoreboard here real quick while we're talking. 10 games today. There are 6 in progress. Blackhawks and Bruins are tied at 1 at the end of 2. The Panthers are up 3-1 over the Red Wings, also at the end of 2. This could end the Red Wings' chance. Sabres are up 2-1 on the Blue Jackets at the end of 2. End of 1. Hurricanes got a 2-1 lead over the Capitals. Rangers are pouncing the Islanders 4-0 with 13:39 to go in the second. And with a minute 21 to go in the first, the Jets have a 1-0 lead over the Stars. A little bit later tonight, you have 4 more games. Vancouver is in Denver. Nashville is in Salt Lake City. Seattle is in Vegas. And the Ducks are in LA. That's probably okay. So yeah, they're gonna be going for it. I didn't really look at that today. I had one of them things. I was sitting here not feeling, kind of out of it a little bit. It feels like it's really dark. Like it's 7:00 at night, but it's only 2:30 here or 2:47 here. So, still kind of early. I might still go drive tonight, but Tarasenko is toasted. I think you guys are going to buy him out. I really do. I think you guys are going to buy him out. And the problem is, even if you buy him out, I don't know if he gets his contract somewhere. Dr. Detroit, when he signed with Detroit, when he signed with the Red Wings, I was like, man, that's not a good fit. That's not a good fit at all. I do not see how that was a fit. And it's just turned out that way. That team Nice little tip. Nice tip. Wow, what a tip. They're showing. I got the NHL Network on, and they're showing the Jets thing. Hall is toasted, unreal. Taylor Hall, is that who you're talking about? I thought Hall was on. I don't even know where Hall is anymore. Is he on the Detroit? Roster report. Oh, Justin Hall. Okay. I think that's who you're talking about, Justin Hall. All right. There we go. Not Taylor Hall. Justin Hall. Okay. I just that team. I don't watch a lot of it, but I look at that team and I go, they're not trying to build a team. They're trying to put pieces together to get in. And Rangers just made it 5-0. And that's not, you got to build a team, and they have not. I don't feel like they've in any way, shape, or form done that. Right? David Perron going there. That was throw a piece. They're like, here's the puzzle box. I'm going to take a handful of pieces out of it and see if I can make them fit together. And that's not how you do it. That's actually a really good analogy, isn't it? I think it's a hell of an analogy. Wait, I'm waiting to see if somebody likes that analogy. Very good drafting, but pro scouting. But pro scouting is far from laughable. Taylor Hall is in Chicago. Yeah, that's what I thought. For some reason, I was thinking that. Very good drafting, but pro. I don't even know if drafting. I don't even feel like if drafting's been that great. As long as you miss the playoffs, Detroit and Detroit's problem and Buffalo's problem are two separate things. At least I think so. I could be wrong. Buffalo's problem is ownership. Straight up. End of story. They have owners who have no clue what they're doing. And they are in it. I think this is a tax write-off for them. Right? What do they care? Write the taxes off. What do we care? And until they sell that team is not. And they made some. God, they got pieces. They got pieces. They just can't put it together. And I think that the ownership is the cancer in the locker room. I just feel like the ownership there is an absolute cancer in the locker room. And yeah, and I don't think that their ownership is a problem, because I think they're hands off, right? The Ilitch family. I mean, when Mr. Ilitch died, I don't know if when he died, how much the family wanted the team. I know that was his team. That was like for Cardinal for St. Louis fans, when Gussie Busch died, right? Nobody else cared about baseball in Anheuser-Busch but Gussie. Now, you got to remember, at the point that Gussie had the Cardinals, he was no longer the CEO of Budweiser. He had nothing else. So that was his thing. When he died, his family just didn't give a shit. And that team struggled because of it. Need to coach, not a retread. And that's possible, right? Schneider, Redmond. Yeah, that's good drafting there. But again, it like I said, it just feels like they reached in. I have Shaggy and Shags. I've been on an hour, but if you want to pop on for 20, 30 minutes or 10, 15 minutes, I'm more than welcome. We can talk. I got the NHL Network on, and they're showing it's 5-0. And I said earlier, I know you probably didn't hear it, but I said the Rangers figured out how to play after they got eliminated. Right? I think the only team in the East. Let me go back to the standings here real quick. The only team in the East, the Rangers, well, the Rangers aren't officially eliminated yet. I thought they were, but they're not. Right? They're very close to being eliminated. No, they got 79 points along with everybody else, but they played one more game. I don't know. I mean, I don't see them making it because Montreal's got 87. Let's see. If 78, that's 4 games, that's 8 points. 80. So basically, they'd have to win out and have every team ahead of them not. And then they would need Montreal to lose out the next 4. And I don't see that happening. So they're virtually eliminated. I'm putting my kid to sleep while watching the Rangers game. No issues, man. No issues. Just throwing that and watching you with him. No problem, man. Just throwing it out there, bud. You know, good friend. Detroit has no coach. Forever 2 when Bashil was with the team. Okay. Montreal is getting in unless they, Montreal just needs to win a game, right? Or get a point. And Montreal needs a point. That's it. Hey, Rick, I'm doing okay. Thank you. Sherrod Hall. Upson, just junk free agents with team. Yeah, you know, like I said, it feels like instead of, you know, starting with the straight edges and going around that way, they've just put their hand in and dropped them out. They just put their hand in and dropped them out. Western Michigan is going to the championship game. They win in double overtime, 3-2 in the Frozen Four in St. Louis. I kind of wish I could have done that. There we go. Hold on a sec. I want to do something. Here we go. No, it's fine, man. I'm just doing a quick show, man. I'm just doing just came on, you know, to talk. That's all. Nothing. You're fine, scared. I probably won't be on much longer, Chiefs fan. Right? I just wanted to come on for a little bit, say hi to people. Like I said, I was kind of wasn't sure what I wanted to do, kind of struggling a little bit, so I decided why not just come on and talk some hockey. And kind of use my studio that I've opened up and made it feel a little better. Changed some lighting around, did that. So I'm okay. Just, you know, hey, look, let me go off script a little bit, and like there's ever a script here. I deal with depression and anxiety and addiction. I deal with it, okay? It's not going away. Right? Just so you know, it's not going away. It doesn't mean it defines me. It doesn't. It's something I have to deal with. I'm going to have good days. I'm going to have bad days. You know, David Acey seen me on a good day, seen me on a bad day. Right? He seen me when the addiction didn't matter. He seen me when the addiction took over. Right? And you know, it is what it is. But he's a good friend. He hasn't left. That, you know, he hasn't left me. He's right there, and he's still being a great friend. Oh, here's a good question. What's your thoughts on the goalie situation in St. Louis after this season? Guy, I believe Bennington has been great for you guys, but going forward, Hofer is the future, and you cannot lose him. He is really solid. I have talked about this, and I talked about this with the guys from the Blues Fan Forum. When it comes to goaltending, I think you should spend no more than $10 million on your goaltenders, right? That's the max. And it doesn't matter how high the cap goes. Right now, I mean, maybe if once the cap gets over 100 million, I might go to 12. But where the cap is right now, 10 million, which is a little over 10%, is what you should spend on goaltenders. And we've seen teams that have spent that 10 million or better struggle. Montreal. I mean, they had I can't think of his name now. I want to say Casey, whatever. I mean, world-class goalie, $10 million, and he struggled, right? To me, you have to, that's the money. Well, right now, Bennington's making $6 million. You've got $4 million to play with. And Hofer's your RFA. He's got a bridge price. That's it. Thank you. I couldn't remember it. Carey Price. Thank you. You got the carry in there. But you and Blues have got 5 goaltenders, very, very good goaltenders. I'd say 4 really good and 1 project in their system. Right? They have trade equity. Absolutely. Bennington, after this season, has 2 years left on his deal. You do not trade him right away. You wait until the final year of his deal, and you go, okay, what do we do then? Where's Ellis? Where's Zinko? If those 2 guys are ready to go, and Cranley, figures things out, then at that point, Bennington, in my eyes, is worth 3 to 4, if not 5, first-round picks. Right? Hoffer's not the immediate future. He's the near future. Right? He's the near future. He's not the starter next year, maybe the year after that. But to me, it's Bennington's job to lose. Right? It's kind of Bennington's job to lose. And I think you've got the time. I think I would love to be where they're at with Hofer as good as he is, with Bennington playing as well as he has. I tell you, I wish I could talk to him. I wish I could talk to him privately or even publicly. I wish I could talk to him because, to me, somebody said something to him at the Four Nations. And whatever it was they said changed him. Absolutely changed him. And he is, you look at the goals yesterday, the 3 goals, the 4 goals he gave up, none of them were, he would have won that one back. They were mistakes in front of him that he just couldn't do anything with. Right? Guys that didn't get cleared out. He gave up 1 rebound in it, but it wasn't like it was a big rebound. It would just happen. Right? I have 0. And then even with him getting fiery yesterday after getting kicked in the head by Perry and stabbed in the pads with the skate too, I got no issue. I thought he, and when I say first round picks, right? What I mean is he's worth those first round picks or players equivalent to first round picks. Right? If you're going to get, and the Blues right now, God, you look at what the Blues are contending for a cup for between now and the next 5 years with what they've got. Well, next year for the next 5 years starting next season. I think the Blues are challenging for a cup. All right, Samantha, I just kind of popped on my own. Just wanted to talk a little bit. Thanks for adding me to your group. I appreciate it, and I subscribe to your YouTube page. You'll see the BlueNote Fan Report there. I think that, and you look at the drafting the Blues have done. Let me see. I think I got. Let me pull this up. I'm gonna pull this up. You go back. Oh man, why can't I find what I want? Oh, hold on. I'm getting there. Hold on. I know it's here. Come on, where is? I think this is what I'm looking for. There we go. So let's go down and look at go back here with the guys that are on this team right now, right? The farthest you can go back with guys we've drafted is 2019. Actually, no, 2018 with Hoffer, right? Pranovich is gone. Tucker's there. So Tucker and Hoffer. You got Robert Thomas we drafted in 2017. Kyrou was in 16. Fabry's gone. Barbersev is gone. Wallman's gone. Husso's gone. Panansky's gone. I'm going back to see how far. Okay. Well, Parayko. Parayko's the farthest draft pick that we've got. And Bennington. Actually, Bennington is. Bennington we drafted in 2011. But Bennington is the only guy from his draft class that we still have. Right? Same thing with Parayko. He's the only guy from his draft class that we still have. Right? 2013, only one of those guys even played in the NHL. We gave up some picks there. But you look at the guys that we got now that are our recent draft picks, you know. Last year, Jurek and Fisher are two guys that are going to be there. Kos is also one. You got two of them. You have the two Adams, Adam Jerko, Gejeccho, and Jerik, the Chechenian guy. And he's probably going to. Then you look at the 2023 draft. Dvorsky, Steinberg, Lindstein, Juri Petrick, Jacob Stansel. These are guys that are all making the name for themselves. Marc-Andre Gaudette, the defenseman. I don't know if he's still with us or not. Samantha might know. Is Gaudette still with us, Samantha? Anytime. It was a good game, but the Blues got screwed. Are you streaming Wednesday, which would be Tuesday? Yes, I will stream the last game of the season. Marc-Andre's he's still with them, right? Tucker's off and off for 2. Walker's a great player. Torpo, Neighbors as well. I'm happy Devo got So we've got. You look at this team and what's in the cupboard. Yeah, buddy. Right, and then this year we don't have we've given up some draft picks this year, but at the same time I'm okay with that because I'm going like what we got. So for the draft next year, and I can pull it up here in a second. No. I have it. I know I have it. Draft picks. Here we go. 2025, we have 3 picks. We do not have a second, third, fourth, or seventh round pick. We'll probably pick one up and pick something up. But we have a first round pick, a 5th round pick, and a 6th round pick. You know, the building that we've done for 26, we have one first round, a first round, a third round, a 4th round, 3 5th rounds. Now, for me, the draft is 1 through 3. The first 3 rounds are important. You might find guys in the 4th to 5th round. Tucker and Kessel are those guys, right? Kessel, I know, was a 5th round pick, right? Kessel was a 5th round pick. Tanner Dixon, a 4th round pick. I actually ran into some relatives of Tanner Dixon's here in Hawaii. Cranley, a 6th round pick. Jerzinko, a 7th round pick. Hoffer, a 4th round pick. McGing, a 5th round pick, though McGing, I think, is not on our roster right now. You know, you've picked well in the lower rounds. Gaudette, a 5th round pick, right? And then you've got Stancil, a 4th round pick. I think you've got some lower level. The Blues have done very, very well drafting. Right? Yeah, that might be true. On Benny. No, they're back. The Benny haters are back. They're back, trust me. Right? Yeah, but I don't think he's on our roster. That might be the difference there. Let me look real quick. McGing, is he listed on our roster? No. He is. He's still on our roster. I take that back. He is on our roster. So I take that back. My bad. I wasn't sure if he was on our roster or not. I don't think they can win it all this year. I really don't. But I think they have the talent in the next 5 years to win it all a couple of times. Right? Has Dvorsky and Snugard and you know, some of these other guys, you know, Bolduc and some of these other guys start to mature. You know, this is, we're going to put it together. Right? Let's put it together. Talking about the Jets. Okay. Yeah. Okay, I'm with you. And it does all depend on Hellebuck. I'm with you. That's a yes and a no statement. You really have to look at, there's been some really good goalies out there that, did he get 96? I don't think so. I don't know if he just got a goal or not. Oh, he just laid a hit out. Big guy. Oh, that's in the big guy. Right? No. He did not. He got an assist, I think, but he didn't score. I think the Blues, and I'll tell you what I really, really like, and Wayne's going to have a heart attack when I say this one, that the Blackhawks are right there. Ouch. Yeah, we're going to make a short playoff run. That's going to make a short playoff run, unfortunately, Sam. I hope you have a good one. I really do, Sam. Let me think on this for a second. I kind of lost my place. The Blackhawks, if they can get a NHL ready pick in the top 3, which is where they're going to be, this rivalry could heat up. It could absolutely heat up, right? Now, well, Jason, what I was trying to get at, there's been some goalies out there that were cool, calm, collected, didn't let things get to them. Grant Fuhr was that guy. Grant Fuhr never picked the puck out of his own net. Wasn't my job. Went in, it went in. Right? So, I mean, the edge is one thing there, too. Blues are going to be so good forward that they have. I believe they do, too, Mud. Right? Bennington has a fire, and as long as that fire is controlled, right? And I think it is. I don't know if they do, man. Wendy talked about that. Wendy wanted that. I don't know. Here's my thing with Bedard, right? Is Bedard somewhat like McDavid? Look at all the number one overall picks McDavid had. Look at all the great players McDavid had. And he's, you know, you can say he's had trouble working with them. He's had trouble playing with them. Right? You can honestly say that. But when it comes down to it, you know, is he that same, you know, he's been told how great he is. Is that going to, you know, is that starting to have an effect? And that's my concern with him. Be honest. That's my concern with him. You know, and I've never been high on him. I saw, you know, I always saw those highlights and go, well, wait a minute, in the NHL, this wouldn't happen. And I tried to explain that to Wendy one time, and Wendy wasn't having it. But then he kind of went back and said, yeah, I can see what you're saying, though. Right? You know, I seen him beat a defenseman going, but in the NHL, the defenseman wouldn't have done that play. He would have done this or that instead. So, yeah. I don't know about that. It sounds like Wendy, I mean, they've had some really good draft picks lately. You would think he has the guys to play with. Right? He's got Taylor Hall, a number one overall pick. He's had guys. Oh, yeah, he'll beef up. I'll see that. I see that. I mean, I think McDavid's the same type of captain as O'Reilly. Doesn't tell anyone to step up. He just tries to do it himself. I kind of agree with that. That was my biggest thing. I didn't mind. My biggest problem with O'Reilly was I have to do better. Well, you know what? What message are you sending every time you say it? Oh, I'm playing just fine. It's O'Reilly that's not playing good enough. Right? O'Reilly needed to say, we need to do better. He needed to take the I out of it. Right? And I remember seeing that on Shorzy. Not this season. He played all season this season, didn't he? Last year he had the season in, but he played most of the season this year. I thought he did. I know he had a hat trick earlier this season. No, because I sat him when he got his hat trick, bastard. But no, see, I just lost my place. You know, the Shorzy, I saw the thing on Shorzy. He was for a while. He got traded. He was the number one overall draft pick on Edmonton, if I remember right. Then he went to Detroit. No, he didn't go to Boston. He went to the Devils, not Boston. I don't think he went to Boston. I could be wrong. Oh, what a goal! What a seeing eye goal! That's a seeing eye goal. That puck should have never got stuck in the back in that corner of the net. I don't know if Taylor Hall ever played in the minors. He was one of those guys. I saw a thing on Shorzy, they're interviewing the owner, and there's three ladies, and one of them saying, a hockey player, when he loses, it's I lost. When it's win, it's we. And Shorzy made that comment. Oh, he did play for the Bruins. Okay, wasn't sure. My bad. Okay, I wasn't sure. I wasn't 100% sure. I thought he may have, but I wasn't sure. The thing about the Blues the last couple of seasons is, and it's what Shorzy said, they don't hate to lose. Now they hate to lose. I think that has finally come to fruition. And as long as they hate to lose, we're going to have a good season. That's the thing. As long as, if you don't lose that hatred of losing, if you don't have that hatred of losing, you don't belong in the NHL. And unfortunately, guys don't. There's some guys that don't, right? And Boston, I don't know if they just scored or, yep, Boston's up 4-2. Or no, Chicago's up 4-2 on Boston. Come on, Boston. Actually, I don't mind Chicago winning. It makes it harder for them to get the number 1 overall pick. I don't think they're locked into that spot, though. I think the Sharks might be locked into that spot. I'm not completely sure. Nope. Not completely locked into it, but close to it. Right. There's 8 points out there. They have 51. Chicago is 54. Chicago winning today would do a lot to lock the Sharks into that number 1 overall pick. The Predators having the 3rd overall pick, or at least the chance at the 3rd overall pick, that is like instant shock to me. Do you know if the Blues were in the East, they would already be locked into a playoff spot? Would be locked into a playoff spot. Either a wild card spot, they'd either be locked in a wild card spot, or the 3rd in the Metro. Right? Yeah, I mean, I've thought about that. Well, it's close. I mean, Chicago could still get it. Right? Yeah, unfortunately, man. Unfortunately. He did play for Boston there, Sam. We established that. Wow. I'm at 1 hour and 25 minutes, and I thought I was going to do 5. I'm going to do 5 more minutes, 1 hour and a half. I think that's going to be enough. 11 people watching. I love that the numbers are coming up, guys. I really do. Samantha Rose Robinson, Gabe Overture, Wayne Horder, Russ Tidlin, Nikki P, Jason Nickel, David AC, and Aaron Nels. Thank you. All right. That all means a lot. I appreciate it. I appreciate that you guys are sharing the show, and that you're talking to your friends about the show, and you're helping me get those numbers up. I really, really, really want to have. I mean, we got 2 games left, maybe 1, or I want to get to 50 viewers at one time. That's my goal, 50 viewers. And then to get a show to have a total of 1,000 views, right? And not later watches. I mean, by the end of the show, 1,000 people coming in. We or 1,000 clicks or views, whatever. We can get there. I know we can. Oh, I did, Sam. I was actually, Sam, I was worried you didn't have a good time last night. I really was. I was worried that I said something or did something or overtalked or made you feel, like I asked you some bad questions. I was really worried about that. So I'm glad. I am very happy to see you and that you did enjoy yourself on the show last night. I really am. Right? I really am. It's fun when you have someone to talk to. It is. This is great. The chat room is great, but there's a 15-second delay between me talking and you guys hearing me. That's an automatic. That's not counting what the lag in your computer is or anything else. That's just an automatic. If you heard me as I was talking, that's what it would be. Well, that's great, Sam, and I appreciate it. I just wanted to make sure, right? I just wanted to make sure that you enjoyed it and had fun and all of that. I thought she was too, man, Matt Lowe. I thought she was too. Well, Caps just scored. So that's 3-2. 3-2 Caps. You guys, in all actuality, and I talked a little bit about what I go through, the ups and downs. And there's times where I'm down, but you guys support of the people that follow the show. Look, I don't know if I've lost a friend, but I have someone who was a very good friend of the show who's very upset with me over the show. And basically he's not talking to me right now. And that hurt. And I really felt like stopping. I did. I felt like, this is the final draw. I was going to make this the last season. But seeing some of the stuff, this late season, seeing, the thing with the podcast forum, having Samantha on the show, the support that I get from some of these guys, from you guys, has really made me want to do this more, right? And figure out the balance that I need to be able to do this. And that's what I'm looking for. I'm trying to find that balance. I got to work. I got to drive. Driving for me is 10 to 12 hours. I need to do that. There's other things that need to happen. Maybe I don't put enough energy into the show. I got to look at that. Trying to post the shows late or more often. I know there's a way to do it. I just got to figure it out. We're using the studio that I'm in. I think there's a way using the studio to post the show more than once. And try and get ahead on things. I want to do that. I want to get. I want to be there more. I would love to do more of this type of show than I did. While the game reaction is great. And lately, 10, 11, 12 viewers is much better than the 4 I've had. When it's 4, 3, and 2, I can't do it. And look, I'm not saying anything. Don't get it wrong. I'm just telling you. Right? I just can't do it. It weighs on me because, and I'm going to tell you straight up, I blame me. I put that straight on me that the reason people aren't watching is because they don't like me. They hate me. I'm not doing a good job. That's just my, and I get it. That's a mental thing. Some people, you can see that and go, nothing I can control. I can't control people watching. You can do that. I can't. Right? Sorry, I'm thinking here a little bit, not thinking very well, but lately the support has been just incredible. I would love that. I would love Ryan Smith. I really would. I've reached out to him in the past and got nothing back from him. Right. And I just got to a point where I stopped reaching out because when you're getting ignored, you're getting ignored. And you know what? I get it. I get who I am and I backed off. Jason, I'm going to get to a point sooner or later where I just don't care. It's going to take me a while. Right. It's going to take me a while. And I've because of this show, I've had some really, really nasty things said about me. Really nasty things said about me. And I've had people, who I've tried to help in the past, forget that and drop me like a hot potato. And in all actuality, that shit hurts. That hurts. And I don't let it go. Right? That one situation that really came down, I've never let that go. Right? I've never let that go. And that's something that's going to bother me for the rest of my life, the way that all played out. Because my truth will never get out there. My truth is never, ever going to get out there. And I know it. Jason, you know it. You know that my truth is never going to get out there. And I know you do. Yeah, well, that's not who I am. That's just not who I am, my friend. Sorry. I started this show as a way to connect to people. And while I have connected to some, I've lost connections because of it. And that has really affected me. The things that have been said about me have affected me. The things that are still being said about me affect me. And trust me, I still hear it. That is, Lance, that, yes, you are somewhat correct. There's always three sides to a story. Your side, my side, and the truth, which lies somewhere in the middle. I was never able to say my side of the story. You know, and if you want, I was never able to get my side of the story out there. And I never will, and that's fine. All right. And by the way, Lance, I'm going to tell you this. I don't know. I'm hoping everything between you and me is good. And I know I shouldn't say it publicly, but I hope it is. I consider you a great friend. And if I said something or did something lately that's got you upset with me, please send me something privately and let's talk about it so I don't lose any more friends. Right. And that's one thing when you do this of a public nature, you say things that you don't realize how they affect somebody. And I get that. And I really try hard not to do it, but there's times it happens. It's going to happen. Right? There's a lot of people out there who I'm the villain in their story. That would be cool. I'd like to get Gaudette played with us for a little bit. I think he had one or two games with us. Didn't do great up here, but he did. I would love that, man. Sam, I want to say this because the person that I lost was something over like what's going on between with what you're. I would, if you want to help the show, please do. That's great. I appreciate it. I don't want to ask any more than I already have because then I don't want you to feel like I'm putting weight on you. The friend that I lost feels like I did that to them when I don't think I did in all actuality, but I don't want to get any more into it. That's you need to hear. I just want you to know, you to be understand that if you want to do it, great, but I don't want you to feel pressured to do it. Does that make some sense? I hope so. So much for only doing 5 more minutes. I said that 11 minutes ago. Wow, Jason, that's your fault, Jason. Caps are up 4-2. No Ovechkin goals. I think he gets 900, but the 900 this year, and I think 950 is his number. I think that's his number. If he hits 950, I think he's done. Could he get to 1,000? Yes. I think he still has the skill level to play, but I don't think that the Caps have the people to put with him. You know what? I don't have enough. I know North Dakota made it to the Final Four, or to the final game, but I don't know the other one. I don't even know who the teams are, to be honest. Right? Oh, that's cool. And just, like I said, Sam, just thank you. And, if you think I'm ever pressuring you and it's too much, you just tell me. Tell me privately. You don't have to do it publicly, and I get it, and I'll know. But, don't, just make sure I know what's going on, right? That's all I ask. That's all I ask. You got me for 2 more minutes. At the 140 mark, I'm going to back out. All right, I got to figure out what's going on. Let me, you know what? Actually, I'll go a little on. Let me try something here. I'm going to try something because I tried playing this and it didn't work. Let me see here.
What are you wearing?
A Canadian tuxedo.
Canadian.
I'm a hockey player. Let's go Blues.
Let's go Blues.
Let's go Blues.
To all you Blues fans, we're bleeding blue with you.
Let's go Blues. Let's go Blues. Let's go Blues.
Okay, it looks like the show opening's doing okay. It didn't either. I don't think so. I think you're fine, Jason. The 2-game loss streak, I don't see it. First of all, a 3-1 loss with a 1-goal loss, 2 1-goal losses. I don't have an issue with that, and especially with the one against Edmonton where that was all ref. That had everything to do with the ref, and I talked about that earlier. Last night's referee. There we go. Got a hand. So yeah, I'm going to call it nice. You know what? I'll give you 5 more minutes. You know what? You're never going to win all 82 games, man. So that's the one thing that that's the one thing that really, people, they lost, it's so bad they lost. I'm depressed because they lost. I called somebody out on that once. That's pretty fucked up to sit there and say you're depressed. I mean, to me, that was like a slap in every veteran's face. A veteran who had bullets fired at him or spent time in a minefield. You're super depressed because the hockey team lost. Well, they're going to lose. Right? They're going to lose. No one wins all 82 games. It's not going to happen. Hell, even the best team in the league only won 65 of 82 or 63, something like that. And then they got swept in the playoffs. Playoffs. That's why I say there are good wins and there are bad wins. There are good losses and there are bad losses. I would say that the Winnipeg loss was a good loss. I will say that the Oiler loss was a bad loss. And the reason I feel the Oiler loss was a bad loss, well, Jason, stop. 3 points. And that's not, we have to get 3 points. That is a combination of points we get and points Calgary doesn't. Calgary is not winning out. They're not. No, you're not. I wish I could bring that meme up. No, you're not. No, you're not. No, you're not. Shockey knows what meme I'm talking about. It's just not going to happen. Right? We got to get our points. We got 2 teams that are not in the playoffs, that are out of the playoffs that we're playing. So we go out there and we play them hard. They want to play spoiler. We want to clinch. Go out and play hard. 3 points. And you might clinch while you're sitting at home. You could clinch while you're sitting at home. Maybe. So go out, play your game, and that's all that matters. Right? They go out and play your game, and that's all that matters. Right? They played well against Edmonton. They came back. They fought hard. They did what they had to do, and a blown call cost that game. And yes, I'm going to put that. That is a game I could put directly on the ref, because that blown call led to a 6-on-5 or a 5-on-4 that should not have happened. And that call has to get made. Plain and simple. That call has to get made. There is no issue about that being a trip. It's one thing to play the puck. Great. But when you're fouled, who comes all the way through and you sweep him off his feet, that's a trip. He didn't fall over the stick. He didn't fall backwards over your stick while you were playing the puck. You took his feet out from under him. Right? It'd be cool. It'd be cool. Well, guys, 1 hour and 45 minutes when I didn't think I was going to do 10 minutes. And yeah, he says, well, you always say that. Yeah, well, that's how I feel. But, that's what I say. You guys do great. Thank you. Keep it up. Keep helping me make things better. And I'll do my best. Again, thank you all. This is Guy, the Hawaii Blues fan. Boys, help me out, please. Can you help me out, boys?
Hawaii Blues fan.